Hey everybody, it's John and Steph, and we're back after it's been about a year since we made a video. But we were really excited about this band, so we wanted to do like an introduction video to Goose. And in the past we've done videos on like top 5 or our top 10 favorite songs from a band. This is going to be more, like I said, an introduction. We're going to give 5 songs each that we really feel like represents the band, but there, of course, are some of our favorite songs from the band. And just to give you a little history, our history with the band is we really got into them about 2 years ago. During the pandemic, we went down the Goose rabbit hole. And now, me, historically, I'm more of a prog and classic rock, heavy metal guy. But the last 10 years, we've really gotten into the Grateful Dead and Humphreys McGee and really gone more towards jam bands. And Goose just hit at the right time. And, it's so cool because when we first got into them, they were playing like 500 to 1,000 seat venues. Now they're selling out like 8 to 10,000 seat venues, no problem. They just did a 5-night run at the Cap, and we saw Thursday night show, so we'll talk about that a little bit, and that'll be a reference point. And now I'll shut up and let Steph tell you a little more about the band.
So they started in 2014, and I think they do just a great job of fusing like blues and folk and jam and R&B as well. And like John said, we got into them a couple of years back. We actually saw them about a year ago in Philly. That was our first show, probably one of the first shows we went back in person.
Maskless.
Yeah, so that was fun to finally see them, and it's just been such a joy to really get in depth into their whole catalog and really just live. I think that for me it's like the first band that I really have gotten into just like their live stuff. That's what I know, and I don't think that that's ever happened yet with any other band before. So like John said, they hit at the right time, and it was great to just say, hey, let's just do an intro to Goose.
That's right. And just to expand on what Steph said, like to see them live is to really breathe them in. They did the late night talk show circuit at the end of last year. I think they did Kimmel and Fallon, and they did, I think, CBS this morning. And they did like 4 or 5 minute versions of some of their songs. And we're used to hearing those versions as 15-minute just jams. They'll start with a song, they'll go into another song, and they'll just weave their way back to the original song. It's just an amazing thing. And anyone, obviously, that loves jam bands know what we're talking about. It's just special. So to see them on those shows just didn't do them justice. You got to go see them live. And again, we've seen them twice, and we're hoping we're going to hit double digits in the next couple years because they are just amazing. They just take us to another planet. And Thursday night, we were on that planet, I think, at the Cap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you want to name your first song?
So I'm going to go with Hot Tea. I think this was the first song I heard from Goose. I think it's a song that represents just all the elements of a great song. I think lyrically and then just in terms of instrumentally, it really makes you groove, and it really gets the party started, I think, once you start playing that song. So yeah, for me, it's Hot Tea.
Nice. Yeah, it gets the party started and it ends the party well, too. Great song. Okay, so I'm going to choose Silver Rising, and I'm going to give a quick quote. All that I am fades away. A rage through my heart flows out through my veins. And I just love the drum roll through the lyrics, and I love Rick and Pete's harmonizing. I mean, Rick's voice is just, wow, just like gives me chills. He's just got a beautiful voice. And I love Pete's keys on it. Just amazing. Silver Rising.
Yeah, it definitely gives you chills when you listen to that song, and seeing it live was just really great.
Oh, yeah.
So next I'm going to go with Rockdale. I think this was an instant favorite for me and John as well. They played this at our show on Thursday.
Yes, we were so pumped they played it Thursday night. Yeah.
But I think John mentions like the harmonizing, I love that, and Peter's playing. I think it just really highlights his playing in this song. I love that jam in the middle, and then how they like build it up as well. I think again, just all around great song.
Oh yeah, awesome. All right, I'm going to go with Seekers on the Ridge, Part 1 and 2, which they played a song, I think it was I don't know what, I forgot what song, but they started out on Thursday night, and I thought it was Seekers on the Ridge, and I turned to the guy behind us, and I said, I think it's Seekers on the Ridge, and he was like, and I was like, damn it, felt stupid for a minute. Anyway, but they did play it last night, and we couch toured, we watched it right here, and it was an amazing set. So I'll give another quick quote from Seekers on the Ridge, part 1. "Oh, Colorado, breathe it in. They'll know the truth when water flows again." Now, can you imagine seeing them at Red Rocks and them doing that Seekers on the Ridge, that line? I mean, maybe they've done it at Red Rocks, maybe, but we're hoping to catch them there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seekers on the Ridge, part 1 and 2, just great songs.
Incredible song. Nice. Next, I'm going to go with Slow Ready. I do like So Ready as well, but for me, I think really Slow Ready just speaks, I think, to my like love of R&B, and this song really does that. It's just what a great, like, just smooth sounding song. I think, again, just the rhythm of it. And they played this at the Philly show that we saw last year, so it's just really great to finally see them play it after so long of listening to it. But yeah, I think if you're like me and really into R&B, I think it's just great that a band like now can play a song like that and just really make it their own with their sound, but they bring that influence of that R&B. So yeah, check that one out.
Yeah, and like you said about like tempo changes, when we saw them Thursday, they did Born off Dripfield, and they totally sped up the tempo, and it was so cool to hear a different version of Born. And we asked the same guy behind us, like, have they ever done a version of Born like this? And he was like, he didn't think so. So it was really cool to see that for the first time.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorites from the new album. But I gotta say, I think it worked, and wasn't really sure, but it was so interesting to hear. And I know some people like the song played at the same tempo, but I thought that they just did a great job with the Born as well.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to name California Magic, which they also did at our show Thursday, so we got lucky. And I'm just going to quote a line: long-time listener, first-time caller. Is this what it feels like to be kneeling at the altar? Again, lyrically, they're just spot on. I love this song.
Oh yeah, it was quite the magic that night to hear it. So that was great. That was really great. Cool. So next, I'm gonna go with White Lights. I think versus some of the other songs, I do like when they slow it down and Pete singing. I think that's just such a beautiful song. And then when Rick comes in, just so pretty. And again, this is the band. I think they're great with harmonizing. But just how it flows. Again, really pretty, the song arrangement. So yeah, I'm gonna go with White Lights.
Nice. And I'm going to go right off that into another Pete song, which is Redbird. And I think it's a song that when the first couple of times we heard it, we're so used to Rick's soulful, beautiful voice. So to hear Pete, it was just so different. But it's grown on us so much, and now we're like, hey, play Redbird. We'll love it. They actually did Redbird Friday night, so the night after we saw them. And I'll give another quote. She flew out of a rainstorm darker than the night. I guess her love caressed it. Stories from her life. Their lyrics just take you away. They take you into nature. They take you to another planet. And, like we live near New York City, so, I miss nature, especially this time of year when we don't get out that much. And this band has just taken me to different planets, different places, with drugs or without. They transport you. And to see them live, it's just 3 hours of bliss.
So true. You have to go catch a Goose show to really just and like the music, like John said. I mean, the lyrics, it's just poetry, and just that experience live is just something like nothing else. Nice. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I think your fifth one now we're gonna name, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna go with Dripfield, and that's from the most recent album. I think it just has such interesting lyrics, and I love that Middle Eastern influence there, kind of like what George Harrison brought to the Beatles. I love the line, Holy One, constellated song, separated from all above. And it's just, again, I think, like John said, Rick's voice is amazing. And just with these different kind of songs, it could be like a high intensity song, but then you get a song like this, and it has like that kind of mysterious vibe. So yeah, just definitely check out this song.
Yeah, great choice. All right, my final song is Echo of a Rose, which was actually a Visuto song, and Visuto had a couple members of Goose before they were Goose. Give another quick quote. I awoke to a dream. I saw a bee's nest in a bonsai tree. I fell to my knees and I started to pray that she'd come for me. Again, just beautiful lyrics, beautiful song.
Nice, great choice.
And they actually did it last night, so we
Yeah.
got to see it. Yeah.
And just for some few extras, other songs that are great. I think Tumble. I think seeing Tumble live just really made me even love the song even more. All I Need is another good one. Creatures is a great one. Any ones you want?
Sure, yeah, those are great ones. There's really not a bad Goose song. I really can't say that I've heard a song and I've said, oh, no thanks, pass. But Dr. Darkness is a great one. Arcadia, which they did last night. Always, it's a fan favorite, but we love it. And as far as covers, we were really lucky enough to see Cinnamon, which I think is a Nina Simone cover. They did it when we were in Philly, and they did it for us on Thursday night. It was such a soulful, beautiful song. Great cover.
Yeah.
You want to name any other covers?
So Nights in White Satin, that's another one
that
that them do.
Yeah.
And Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis. I don't know how many times they've done that one, but that was awesome to hear.
Yeah, they did that a couple of years ago, and I
Yeah.
think that's the only version of it I've heard, but it's great. And I think Rick actually messes up in one version, and I think they kind of redid the song in the same show. It's so cool.
The Mulligan version.
Yeah, the Mulligan version. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so it was fun to see them at the Cap on Thursday, and we're hoping again to catch them many times. But definitely a band to go check out.
Yeah, definitely check them out, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.